Admit it, you think that cybercrime is something that happens to other people. You know it's true. You never think that it's going to happen to you. You may think that no one wants your data or that hackers can't grab your passwords or your credit card details, but you'd be wrong. You know you're wrong. And deep in your heart, you know. Listen, stealing data from unsuspecting people on public Wi-Fi is one of the simplest and cheapest ways for hackers to make money. And when you leave your internet connection unencrypted, you might as well be writing your passwords and your credit card numbers on a huge billboard for the rest of the world to see. That's why, and I use this personally, I believe in it strongly, especially as much as I travel as many public places as I'm in. I took action, and I protect myself from cyber criminals. I use ExpressVPN. I love it. I didn't even really know this was a thing. And then I discovered it, and now I panic to not use ExpressVPN when I'm on public Wi-Fi. ExpressVPN secures and anonymizes your internet browsing by encrypting your data and hiding your public IP address. ExpressVPN has easy-to-use apps that run seamlessly in the background of your computer, phone, and tablet. And turning on ExpressVPN protection only takes one click. I got the app. I just, boom, hit it. There it is if I'm on my phone and on Wi-Fi. Using ExpressVPN, I can safely surf on public Wi-Fi without being snooped on or having my personal data stolen, and for less than $7 a month. You can get the same ExpressVPN protection that I have. ExpressVPN is rated #1 VPN service by TechRater and comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So here's the deal. I want you to protect yourself, protect your online activity today. You can find out how. And not only that, you can get 3 months of free. I love free. ExpressVPN. You can go to expressvpn.com/watchchad. That's expressvpn.com/watchchad for 3 months free with a 1-year package. Visit expressvpn.com/watchchad to learn more. And you know what? Just kick those cyber criminals out of your life. I'm tired, but I feel good. My brain is locked in. It was a fantastic Memorial Day weekend, and reflecting on folks who have sacrificed so that we could sit here with our free speech and come to you via podcast and just through the airwaves. And thank God for the men and women who put on that uniform and sacrificed their lives for our liberty. It's something we'll never take lightly. Happy to be back with the crew as always, sitting here with Candace, the queen of the Ethiopians, over here in the hot seat. We're going to come to you with some big news today. And hot news, Natalie, she's a little under the weather, so our prayers go out to her. Did you have a good weekend?
Yes, had a great weekend.
Yeah. What does a queen of the Ethiopians do on a holiday weekend?
On a holiday weekend, just reset, relax.
Yeah?
Enjoy spending time. Yeah.
That's good. I love relaxing.
Nothing beats relaxing.
We grilled a lot of meat. I have the gout in both of my ankles now. I keep complaining about it. I'm trying not to complain, but I had the home health nurse that made a house call the other night, and I didn't get out of bed or put on pants or anything. She just came in there and stuck me with a steroid shot and Toradol shot, which is beautiful, and then I had to go again yesterday to get another Toradol shot. And so we're fighting it. We're battling it. Party Foul Steve's over there. If you followed him on social media over the weekend, he had an adventure. He had his daughter Ashton and his grandbaby in town. And I don't know if y'all saw Ashton's live feed video where Steve put makeup on Ashton's face.
We had fun.
You did have fun. It was fun to watch. You clowned her up. But you know the funny thing about Ashton, she's such a beautiful girl that even with you putting makeup on her, she still looked good.
She did look good, and she looks great without makeup. So it's either way, but
Candace,
trying to help her.
Would you let Party Foul Steve put makeup on your face?
I would be a little hesitant.
Oh, you didn't watch my video then?
You might change your
If she did, she'd still be hesitant.
I missed it.
Yeah. We got Brandon, the barn burner, over there. Barn burning Brandon. He's sitting over there in the peanut gallery as well. Brandon's my stepson. You've heard him before on the podcast. What's up? Brandon's got tons of insight, and we're going to bring it to you today. So, Brandon, you feel good?
Yeah.
Yeah? What'd you do yesterday?
Battled a cold.
Yeah, you're still battling that cold, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, if you cough on Steve.
No.
Yeah. But you still had fun.
Yeah.
You went to the fair.
I did go to the fair. That was fun.
Yeah, I didn't even know they were having a fair.
Yeah.
And here I am hobbling all around it, just spending money on gout feet. Yeah. Anyway, I'm scared of those fair rides, man. I bet you amongst all the people working there were only like 60 teeth combined. It just. And then they had signs up everywhere that said they were meeting at the Ferris wheel at 9 p.m. They were accepting volunteers to come tear it all down.
Oh, That's not good.
I saw it drive by us on the interstate on the way over
On the way
this
over here
morning.
today. It's weird, man. I wonder if they had volunteers to try to help set the thing up. See, that's what spooks me. I don't ride that stuff.
I feel like you would have a lot of extra parts at the end of the setup.
Oh, just put them in that box over there.
Yeah.
We'll sort it out later.
It's not
No
even
big deal.
bolted to the ground.
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't like it.
Scary.
I just don't like it. Puppet Master Mark, what's up, buddy? You hanging out?
Just hanging out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you
Having fun.
get some sun party this weekend?
I went out. Yeah, I went out to the pool at my apartment for a little bit, and
How's that?
Sit
How's
out
the
there.
scenery at your apartment pool?
it's pretty good. Yep.
I love you guys. It's funny. Oh my goodness. We had a little fender bender yesterday on 35. People ran into us. We're all okay though. Jade's neck's a little sore, but whatever. My
35
car,
is-
man, it's one of those cars that has so many safety features that like now you have to reset everything because it
All the little sensors are like
Yeah,
off.
because it becomes like a transformer. It does all these things to move to protect your body. We were on our way over to Graham and Alyssa Allen. Graham Allen has now moved to Fort Worth, Texas, so he can be here at the Blaze Studios and do his show, Rant Nation, and Dear America podcast. So we went over and did a little housewarming with them and hung out. And it was good. Glad they're here. So anyway, the news. Let's talk about the news. We skipped it yesterday. We did a little fun episode with Party Foul Steve and talked about things he doesn't know. And let me just say, everybody wants to jump on Party Foul Steve. And I was going to comment on there, and everybody's like, oh, I can't believe he doesn't know these things. I defy any one of you to come sit down in the hot seat and let me ask you some questions with the cameras and the microphones. And there's a reason I travel with Party Foul, because he's got the street smarts. So there's a lot of wisdom in this kid, and there's a reason why I travel with him. It's not for all the book knowledge.
How boring would it be if I sat over there and gave all the correct answers?
We wouldn't do that segment.
It would be horrible.
Like we would never do the segment.
So
Yeah.
hopefully everyone learned a few things. And I did. I learned a couple.
A lot of people did.
Yeah,
a lot of people did.
think
But I
so.
love how people try to show me up, and they're like, they're not all those ships are not named after states. There was the Hancock, and I'm like, they said, just saying. I love when
saying.
people try to prove you wrong with just saying. I'm
Trying
saying,
to
well, the
correct
Hancock
you.
wasn't a battleship. It was a carrier.
Oh, there
Just
you go.
saying.
Did you comment back?
Yeah.
Good.
I told them. The Hancock wasn't a battleship.
Somebody called me a hand job. I don't know if is that a compliment or is that a...
They called you that?
Yeah, they're like, this guy's a real hand job. And I'm thinking, hey, it's nothing better than a good hand job.
Oh, here we go. It's party time, Mom. My mom texted me last night. She said the last few podcasts have been very good and shareable.
Shareable.
Well, we just ruined that with Steve. So anyway, it's Tuesday. I want to get into the news. I want to talk about some things that are going on. And we're happy you guys are watching. Go over to YouTube, check it out, and also subscribe wherever podcasts are available. And when you subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the little bell that's up at the top so you get a notification when a new one comes in. I know we do a lot of stuff, and people have a hard time keeping up with it. It is what it is. We're having fun. Well, let's talk about this top news thing about Mount Everest.
Mount Everest, yeah.
Would you climb Mount, are you like a mountain climbing personality?
I think I would, given the opportunity.
Yeah.
I think I honestly would. But after this week's story is maybe taking a little bit more time to assess that decision.
Like you would
But I
try to
still-
climb like Mount Everest?
Yeah. I think that'd be cool.
Like we're talking, what, 61,000 feet in the air.
Exactly.
You've never even flown on an airplane that high. That's the thing that freaks me out about that, because like even private jets don't fly that high. You're going into space. That's the stratosphere. There's no oxygen up there.
No oxygen at all. A lot of training has to go into being able to breathe and conserve the air in your tanks that you have to haul.
Like I have problems walking up the stairs at my house. Like that's an
Yeah.
issue with me.
Maybe you would skip this one.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Sit it out.
11 people have died trying to reach the summit of Everest just this year. We're only in May, right? That's the
Exactly.
world's tallest mountain. And the thing is, they're lining up to do it.
Exactly. Yeah, over 381 permits have been issued this year, which is a record for Nepal. And you have to take into account that number is almost doubled because everyone has a guide with them and extra people, extra Sherpas to carry equipment up the mountain with them.
And when you talk about equipment, you're talking about
Yeah.
frou-frou equipment. Like these are rich
Yeah.
people who are going up.
Yeah, so a problem that they've had a lot over the past years is that a lot of affluent people want to put that on their resume, want to be able to say that they climbed Everest. But the bad thing is they don't have proper training in it, and so they rely heavily on the Sherpas to get them up the mountain.
Yeah.
And so there's been a lot of I guess, controversy amongst the Sherpas who are now in charge of carrying like Wi-Fi routers and like flat screen TVs to bring them, the comforts of home in sub-zero temperatures as they're trying to
you're talking
climb.
about going into freezing space.
Exactly.
For the most part, wearing, like I just don't want to do it. But it's crazy. People are lined up because there's a window to get in with the good weather.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Brandon, do you have an adventurous spirit in that regard?
Oh yeah. If I had the chance to climb Everest, I would definitely. I would go through the train.
But you have no idea what you're even talking about. It's just an idea in your head. You're 12. What do you know? You'd probably make it.
Yeah.
You're just dumb enough to make it. You're just like, I just don't know enough, so I'm just going to go do it.
That could be the key.
It might be the key. I don't know, man.
Like, you have the trainer that's like, dude, I don't know if you make it, and see.
Steve, would you do it?
Nope.
See,
20 years ago, I would have.
No,
Now I'd be like,
I would
there's
never
got to be an
have.
easier way to get up there.
20 years ago, you would have?
Yeah,
No.
20 years ago, I would have.
Yeah.
There's no
Maybe 30
there's
years
just
ago.
no way. I have no desire whatsoever.
Yeah.
Stuff like that is just.
But they're also offering them at like bargain prices, which is also another issue because people
Here's
are
your
like
coupon
they're-
code to
they're-
die for less.
Yeah, they're Grouponing Mount Everest, and it's not working out very well.
Probably better uses for a Sherpa anyway.
Imagine
Yeah.
how cool that would be to like say you climb Mount Everest,
Yeah,
And then
that's
the
true.
view you get.
Imagine how cool it would be to say you died on it. That's a thing.
And they leave you up there if you die.
Exactly.
They can't
There's
get you
dead
down.
people laying
Can't bring
They
everywhere.
can bring the Wi-Fi router back, but they're not bringing your
Yeah.
body back.
You have to bring the router back.
There's landmarks along the pathway that are actually a guy in purple suit, and that's how they identify, or green shoes, and that's how you identify where you're at on the mountain.
That's cool.
You're my Sherpa, Steve.
Yeah.
You're my Sherpa on the road.
That makes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Sherpa. I
So-
think I drank one of those at the 7-Eleven. Oh,
Is there anything on the planet you haven't drank?
no, probably not.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah. Well, anyway, y'all like Chick-fil-A?
Love
Yeah,
Chick-fil-A,
who doesn't?
especially on Sundays.
Yeah, right. That's when you crave it.
Crave it
When
the
it's
most.
absolutely
You
closed down.
you like your Chick-fil-A fan, Mark? The
Oh, yeah.
food itself.
Oh yeah, I love
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A.
Brandon, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I have people every now and then, like my mother-in-law. I did a video that went viral several months ago talking about how my mother-in-law said she didn't really care for Chick-fil-A, and I really just abused her in a video, and everybody was mad at me for giving my mother-in-law a hard time. Trust me, she could take it. I like Chick-fil-A. I like Chick-fil-A as a business model more than anything.
Their hospitality.
Exactly.
And they do. It's like you never get. If you notice how many fast food chains are trying to copy Chick-fil-A.
Oh, everything from saying my pleasure to lining up in the parking lot to take your order.
Yeah.
None of them
So
are
they'll
as
be out on
efficient,
the
though.
interstate before you know. taking
None of
your
them
order.
are good
Yeah,
at it.
no.
Like Chick-fil-A.
They really
Like-
have it down to a science.
Yeah, Steve and I were in Atlanta, Georgia, and we were right across the street from Chick-fil-A. So for breakfast, we would run through there. They had multiple stations set up. One would take your order, then you'd pull up to the next one that would give you a receipt. It was just amazing how they had this thing.
That is the best part about Chick-fil-A is they are so good at, you don't order with a machine. You actually, see the people. It's like being at an actual restaurant. You're
Yeah.
gonna drive through.
And it's
I-
fast.
That's what makes Chick-fil-A so good.
So like even if there's a long line at Chick-fil-A, and I love all these people that want to talk about Chick-fil-A boycotting Chick-fil-A, but I don't care if you're in New York or California, there's always a line at Chick-fil-A. People want to go in there and get it because people do admire it. And yeah, so is he muted or unmuted?
I think it was muted for a second. Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
He's muted now.
Well, you can leave him off of mute. Just don't cough in the thing. That's the technicalities over there. Don't give Party Foul Steve. Don't give Party Foul Steve too many buttons to push over there.
What are you talking about? I'll push them all.
Yeah. So, and of course, Chick-fil-A's caught the grief over the years about being quote unquote homophobic. There's nothing homophobic about them. They just have a religious conviction that says that they believe that marriage is between a man and a woman. Most of the world does believe that. That doesn't make you homophobic. It just says this is what our religious belief is. And so people have said, well, they're a hate group. Oh, come on. I mean,
But I've seen gay people that work at Chick-fil-A.
I know
they don't
gay
have a
people
problem.
that work at Chick-fil-A.
and
They
they
haven't
were
been
just
discriminated against.
fine. Like that paycheck.
Those people that are
It's-
saying that about Chick-fil-A are the same people that you see at Chick-fil-A all the time.
Oh yeah, they're on the sly. It's like a vegetarian sneaking into a burger joint
On the down
you know,
low.
so his wife doesn't find out. But so the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, is investigating Texas' San Antonio International Airport and New York's Buffalo Niagara International Airport over allegations of religious discrimination following the exclusion of the fast food chain Chick-fil-A from their premises, according to a new report. Now, what do you think about that, Candace?
I think that's pretty crazy. It's gonna get intense. And we had covered the Texas San Antonio one quite a while back when they first. I think they tried to stop them from moving into the airport originally. Maybe they got fully set up in the airport, and now they're bringing in.
Wasn't it interesting? Like, you don't hear Chick-fil-A being outraged about it. It's everybody else to kind of come into their defense on that. And that's the thing. They faced, you know, Chick-fil-A obviously has faced the backlash, and a lot of people want to boycott them. But the executive director, Rodney Bullard for Chick-fil-A Foundation, said that the organization's mission is to help the community, a higher calling that outweighs any political or cultural war that's being waged. So we'll see how this thing comes out. I mean, Chick-fil-A, I think, is the third largest fast food franchise in the world.
Yeah, has to be something like that.
Yeah, I think they're the third largest, and people love them. I mean, they're definitely a crowd favorite. Everybody loves the Chick-fil-A, and I support Chick-fil-A as much as I can. And it doesn't have anything. I just like the way they do a value model of business. Mm-hmm. It's a value model. That's why they close on Sundays. Think about how many millions, if not billions of dollars they could make if they stayed open on Sundays, but they don't do it because it's a value model.
Exactly.
It's a value-based model of doing business, and I think there's a lot more folks that need to do that.
And they haven't withered away from that either, because some companies could have just given in the first time that they got pushback, but they've stuck true to their values and their beliefs, and I don't think they're gonna really hurt if people try to boycott. I don't think people are actually going to.
Yeah, and it's
really
hard to get a Chick-fil-A franchise. It's really hard to get one, but if you get one, it's not a very expensive franchise to buy into. And I know when Truett Cathy was alive, I know of people who he just gave them the franchise.
Oh wow!
Because if you were going to get a franchise, you had to go and interview with Truett Cathy, and you had to sit down with him in his office. And if he really liked you, and he felt like there were times when he gave people the franchise, but you really had to be sharp, and it was one of those things. And so. They've made people a lot of money, and I want to skip over to something because it's kind of on this topic, and let's talk about McDonald's, which I love McDonald's. Everybody knows I love McDonald's. It's not keto friendly, but I could eat McDonald's every day of my life. I have no shame in saying it.
Big Mac, double sauce.
Yeah, exactly. Steve loves the fact that I like the #1 with extra Mac sauce. Love it.
That's your signature order.
It is.
Yeah,
it's
with
messy, and I
Coke.
love it. Steve's one of those guys who loves to make fun of what everybody else eats. He's always like, "Where are you getting that?" Because I freaking want it.
Brandon had a milkshake this morning for breakfast along with his McGriddle.
It's because he's hanging out with me.
And then drank a Coke, and I'm like,
he was giving him a hard time.
Steve loves to, but anybody that's ever watched Steve's never put food in his mouth that his hand did not touch.
That's
the
right.
entire.
I like food you can eat with your hands.
And you like to touch it all.
That's right.
Like some people pick a fry out of the box.
I don't even need forks and spoons.
Steve touches the whole thing. Like I've seen Steve eating buffalo wings and just collecting the bones in his other hand. Like just holding a whole pile of bones, Mark. Like he watches it and he's like, "Oh, got to put this whole hand on there." But then he wants to make fun of what everybody else eats. Yeah. Why are you getting that? I'm like, "Take me to. I need breakfast this morning." No, you don't. Yes, I freaking do.
He's trying to look out for you.
I'm
against anything they shove food out a window at you, and that even Chick-fil-A. I only go there occasionally. Yeah, I don't like fast food.
Baloney.
Nope.
You eat plenty of it.
Nope. Only because I'm forced to being on the road, but I don't like it.
He sacrifices for you, Chad.
I'd rather go to Cracker Barrel.
See, I hate Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
I don't hate it, but I don't like it. I don't like sitting right there on top of somebody else. But you do.
Hey, it's a notch above Golden Corral.
It's like I like Golden Corral. It's something about that. Like I got my buddy Lou Kramer in Atlanta. He's like, he refuses to go to like a Chinese buffet, which I love the Chinese buffet. And I'm like, I'm not going to go eat food that's been sitting out there and people breathing on it all day long. And I'm like, but dude, you'll go to the mall, to the food court and go to Panda Express. What do you think? He's like, yeah, but that's different. And I'm like, how is it different? It's, if anything, it's worse because at least at the Chinese buffet, you're changing out the food, you know? Yeah. You're changing out the food. No, I love fast food. It loves me back. It's part of my downfall. Like, you can always tell where I am in my life. Where I am in my life, if you get in my car or truck and you'll see the bags in the floorboard, because at that point in time, I just don't care. I've just given up on life for that 6 weeks.
Understandable.
Do you like fast food?
I do. I mean, I can only for like a short stint of time, and then it's like gets old.
One of my favorite things in the world is to bring it home. The Big Mac, the extra sauce, the fries, and just put it on a plate with ketchup. And just eat it off the plate, not out of the bag.
Right.
It's just one of my favorite things, Mark. I'm weird like that. Like, I have little things that I like. Like, Brandon, tell him, if I go to CC's Pizza, which I love CC's Pizza. Anyone? If you don't have CC's Pizza, that's the pizza buffet. I call it the trough. You can go in there and just belly up and eat pizza. Pizza is one of my favorite things. What do I do when I go to CC's? Do you remember my habit? Only at CC's do I do this. I take Thousand Island. I put the Thousand Island dressing on the plate, and I dip my pizza. I'll only do that at CC's. There's no other pizza on the planet I want to put Thousand Island dressing on.
No, wait, Thousand Island dressing though?
Thousand Island dressing. Isn't that random?
I don't know about that, Chad.
I've done it ever since I was a kid.
Thousand Island, that's probably what mac sauce is, isn't it?
I think
For the most part, yeah.
I think so.
A little bit
there's
different.
probably
A little bit tangier.
all right.
A little tangier. The mac sauce is. But yeah. Anyway. McDonald's. Bill de Blasio, of course, is the New York City mayor. I personally think the man is a moron. And so do the people of New York City. He's run the city in the ground. I mean, he has taken the city back 30 years. And now he wants to run for president. Is he still doing that? Is that still a thing? Isn't he like candidate number 47 for the
close.
Democratic Party? But he has vowed, I am so sick of these virtue signaling people. He's vowed to boycott McDonald's until it hikes minimum wage to $15. So Bill de Blasio is going to make a statement. You know, you see the old McDonald's signs that says billions and billions served. But de Blasio is going to boycott. Like, seriously, Bill, how much McDonald's were you eating that you feel like your boycott is going to make a dent in McDonald's?
And the best part is, it's like his whole campaign team is joining in on him with this boycott, and it comprises of a total of 6 people.
God bless them.
Who've all pledged to forego McDonald's.
We've shown this. Studies have shown over and over again, and people want to fight me on this. I've done videos about it. I've done studies on it. And you've got Bernie Sanders and all the other crazy socialists out there that want to raise an hourly wage to $15. It's ridiculous. People are like, well, you need a living wage. You know, people, first of all, working at McDonald's is not intended to be a living wage. It is a starter job. Unless you're going to go to their McDonald's University and become a manager and run a McDonald's. Or
There's
you're
a
gonna buy into
hamburger
the franchise.
university. Don't laugh, Candace.
There is Hamburger University, and you're going to do this. Look, McDonald's provides people with very significant careers. It has made people great careers, but not working in the drive-through lane. That's a retirement job. It's a starter job. It's a stepping stone job to get you somewhere. When you raise that, and why does McDonald's keep getting picked on? Why is it always about McDonald's? You're picking a business that can go fully automated.
And they
there's
have
more,
in some areas.
In places they have.
More of them have the kiosk. You go in, you don't even speak to anyone. You go push
a button.
Push a button, get your thing. So keep asking for your $15 an hour at that job, and you won't have a job.
I promise you, I'm eating more McDonald's than all of Bill de Blasio's campaign staff. So
Probably.
I'm not going to McDonald's anymore until McDonald's addresses these issues. Get a life. I mean, get a life. This is crazy.
Or it's just like Shake Shack. Shake Shack kind of did that in a pilot program.
Yeah.
But then they were also announcing that in Las Vegas, some of their locations were going to try a 5-day work week. So they're trying to still, only pay their employees so much because, $15 an hour adds up a lot for the employee.
Well, they proved it in Seattle that it's a failed plan.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
$15 is too
Don't make a sandwich.
Yeah.
Come on. Pay me $15 an hour. I'll make a sandwich.
Well, speaking of putting the squeeze on the money, Georgia. So the Hollywood people decided that they were going to boycott Georgia and making movies there over this heartbeat bill. And apparently it's putting a little squeeze on the state's economy, which, of course, you would expect that. I mean, that's $1 billion business for Georgia to go in there. And the reason, if you notice, most movies these days are made in Georgia. They get a huge tax break for going out there. Movies aren't made in Hollywood anymore. They're made in Louisiana. For the longest time, they were made in Texas. They were made right here in our studios. You know,
They're taking advantage of the taxes that they don't have to pay.
Yeah, so Georgia gives them a tax break. Texas could not continue to provide that kind of tax break to the movie industry, so they moved to Georgia. Most movies are made in Georgia. Growing up in Georgia, I always spot movies that are made in Georgia because I can just spot the trees and the landscape and things like that, and I always know when it's there. But, you know, so the actors and producers in the wake of this abortion restriction, they said, well, we're not going to make, because they call Georgia Y'allwood, right? It's the third largest production hub, drawing big names. You know, they do The Walking Dead there, the Black Panthers film there. So they give incentives, big incentives. Jason Bateman, you know, I like Jason Bateman as an actor. You know, he says he's not going to work in the state if the heartbeat bill survived legal challenges. And Mark Duplass, who's a filmmaker, he said Hollywood's not going to film in Georgia until the legislation was reversed. Okay. I mean, you're talking free money here. I mean, this is,
Exactly.
you know, this is not, Georgia didn't build its economy on Hollywood movies. They got free money from it.
Exactly. And Marvel just finished not too many years ago, like their big studio, like that is their hub, that is their sole base out there is Marvel Studios. So
Where's Tyler Perry's deal? It's over in Alabama, right? Or has he got one in Atlanta? Because he's from Atlanta.
No, I think it's in Atlanta. I think you're right. Yeah. So
He built a big one out there. So those guys are being super silent about the whole thing. And I can tell you, knowing Brian Kemp, the governor of Georgia personally, he does not care. Like, he doesn't care. I've heard Brian Kemp say, look, they might vote us out in a couple of years, but they're going to know we have been here.
Yeah.
And he's going to do the right thing based on his convictions. And so with all these folks in the film industry have just said that what they're going to do is they're going to leave the state, they're going to pledge donations to the ACLU and other groups challenging the abortion measure. Our buddy Pastor Greg Locke, who we'll have on the show here pretty soon, he was going, where was he going? He was going somewhere to speak at an event, and he's so outspoken against the abortion industry. Planned Parenthood, they were accepting donations in his name, and so when he got there at the local Planned Parenthood, he took a picture and posted it. They said, "Thank you, Pastor Locke. We have now received like $1,200 in your name." Seriously, grow up, people. I mean, this is just it's
1,200.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's going to harm Georgia, like if they decide to pick up and leave, because a lot of studies have shown that like these incentives, these filming incentives, don't really pay or don't really benefit the city that much, because the whole proposal of it is that like you'll have movie stars moving in, they'll need hotels, they'll need, you know, local restaurants, and they'll be shopping, they'll like revitalize the area, and that's never really happened.
Yeah.
So
My thing is like, how long will that last? Like, they need those big studios in Georgia, so if they move out, Georgia's gonna be like, okay, we have so much other stuff to make money with, we don't really need you, but the filming industry does need that.
And
They need
then
big studios, and they need the assets that Georgia has, and therefore they're just gonna come crawling right.
of course they are. They're going to wait for the dust to settle. And they're also, they've got to have those tax incentives. Hey, are you going to keep making movies in California where they just undid the ban on the high-capacity magazines for guns? I mean, you're outspoken about that. Of course, guns kill everybody, right? They're killing our kids. So are you going to ban making movies in California because they've passed that bill? I mean, it's hypocrisy. You're just going to pick and choose the things that sound good. They're not. Are you going to move out of Hollywood? I mean, come on, Jason Bateman. Are you going to sell your house in Beverly Hills, wherever you live? I don't know. Are you going to move out? You know, West Hollywood, are you going to shut it all down? What's the deal? West Hollywood's now banned. That's another news item here. West Hollywood's now banned smoking.
exactly. And
You can
tobacco.
only go to cigar lounges if you're going to buy tobacco products. You can't buy chewing tobacco, dipping tobacco, cigarettes. They're going to be the first place in California. They're banning that. Are you telling me you can't smoke? Or are you guys going to boycott that now?
They're all going to go move to Canada.
No, they're not. They're going to threaten to move to Canada, and I wish they would move to Canada. Brandon, you ever thought about the fact they don't want to move to Mexico?
Yeah.
Yeah, you ever think about that? Nobody wants to move to Mexico. They want to let all the Mexicans in, or it ain't even Mexicans. It's Guatemalans and Hondurans and, you know, those kind of folks, and from those that are coming through Mexico. But nobody wants to move to Mexico. Everybody wants to go to America 2.0.
Canada, yeah.
They want to go to Canada
Canada.
because they think that people are like them. And those people who are threatening that, they're the ones who are racist. Don't call me a racist because I want strong borders and national security. Move on to Mexico. Come on, put your money where your mouth is, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Preach it up.
Angry white male.
I know. We have the most diverse team between this show and Humor Me. We have the most diverse team. And then my management agent, we got the most diverse people. So shut up. People can't call us anything. We don't even know where Candace is from.
We're going to keep it a mystery.
People that are getting mad about the racist stuff, I mean, they have no clue what's going on in Mexico. Like, they haven't been down there and lived through it, which, I mean, neither have...
You've been to Mexico.
Well, I've been there, but I'm not going to live there.
I've been to Honduras.
For more than...
Me too, multiple
right in the
times.
middle of the villages. So
Numerous
I know.
times.
Yeah.
I was scared.
I used to go pull teeth in Honduras.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and Steve have seen those things, but...
I used to go do dental work in Honduras in the villages.
Like volunteer based, or
Yeah.
are you also a dentist?
I'm not
you
a
are.
dentist.
You wear many hats.
You don't have to be.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was down there with dentists and oral surgeons, but I mean, I've got enough medical training that I was down there and doing stuff. I mean, I've delivered babies in Honduras. I've done it in Nicaragua. I've done it in Central America, Guatemala. I've done it in all these places. And I mean, I've been involved in C-sections in Nigeria. Yeah, I mean, I've done all this stuff. So I've been there and I've seen it. And I'm telling you, you want to take a trip with me? Let's go down. We'll do an educational tour to Nicaragua, and I'll show you how this thing works. I'll go down there to Honduras. I mean, I can remember we're down there in the villages, and people walk up with guns stuck in their belt and machetes in their belt. People walking around with no arms because they got into a fight or they got into a dispute with somebody in the village, and they took that machete to them and hacked their arms off because that was justice.
Yeah.
That's how they were doing it in Honduras. Do you know Honduras has more homicides than any country on a planet?
Yeah,
Because-
I'm pretty sure if those, people that are saying, "Oh, let them all in,"
Yeah.
I'm not gonna name names. Until they've gone there and seen, those things.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth.
Yeah, you don't want that here.
Perspective on.
You don't want that here.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you won't find out until it's too late in the process of
Exactly.
like that happening, that you're like, oh, maybe this was not the best idea.
So on on this page right here, if you're watching this on Facebook, the Watch Chad Prather page, so that page actually belongs to Blaze. It belongs to Blaze TV. It doesn't belong to me. So they put Blaze news articles out throughout the day, 3 or 4 or 5 a day. My videos are on here. We utilize this page because it belongs to Blaze, and I grew it to whatever, a couple million people, but it belongs to the Blaze. And so throughout the day, the folks over in the think tank over in the news division, they'll post some blaze.com articles. And the other day they posted an article on my page about a guy an illegal who raped an 11-year-old kid. And so obviously people reacted to that with comments in the thread and were, really going after the guy. And this lady sends me a message and said, I thought you were a Christian. Why would you put something so hate-filled up there so that people could comment and tear people down? Why are you creating division? I'm like, well, I didn't tell her. I mean, one, I didn't post it.
Right.
But two, I would have posted it. I'm not afraid to let people know. And so it's a news story. This is what we're talking about. This is what happens when you let unaccountable people into the country. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the potential for crime and all these things happens. And I'm not responsible for people who comment on my page. I'm not going to go through and police all that. Who's got the time to do all that kind of stuff? But this is something that affects Americans.
And people always talk about like wanting to have those hard conversations, but once it gets to the, hard conversations, they're like wanting to back out and wanting to change the subject, and that's not how it works.
Look, I wouldn't go down to places like Honduras and Nicaragua and Guatemala and Mexico. I wouldn't go to those places if I didn't love those people. Why would I go? What would I'd go down there and get dysentery for a couple of days from eating, drinking bad water or getting an amoeba down there, and you puke for 4 days, and you went down there to work with people and help people for 10 days and come back, and you go back several times a year. Why would I go down there if I didn't love them?
Yeah.
If I didn't care about them, if I didn't care about their well-being. That's why everybody wants to talk about, oh, you just hate brown people. Why would I go to their country and work with them side by side, help them? I can't even tell you the things I've seen down there. Bed sores on guys that were crippled, who were so deep it was all the way to the bone through their rear ends. I mean, and rubbing salve on people who had skin diseases that were borderline leprous, that smelled so bad that you couldn't even walk in the same room with them without having to fight back the gag reflex because these people were so diseased, and you're going in there trying to put medicine on them and help them, and you're like, why would I do that if I didn't care?
You have to have a vested interest. Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
So I mean, when I had a guy the other day who told me that we have an orphanage in Thailand, we have an orphanage in Cambodia that we help build and we support, and we've given our time and our money and all these things helping getting these teenage kids, these little girls off the street so that they don't go into prostitution, and we work with them and we help these people, and people are on there full time working with these things, and I'm like, why would we do that if we didn't care? And somebody says, "Oh, it's just one of your Christianity indoctrination camps that you're doing." You jackasses are the biggest fools on the planet. This is why I become an angry white male. Like, are you kidding me?
that time.
Yeah,
Angry
I mean,
white male.
I'm an indoctrination camp because we're pulling children off the streets before the human traffickers get them and turn them into prostitutes. Do you understand how many of you freaking perverts go out there and are hiring 14-year-old girls as prostitutes in Thailand? I've heard of people who go over there for 14 days at a time just so they can have a big, long sex excursion and sleep with 14-year-olds. And we're in the indoctrination camp. Give me a break, man. We're working with people because we love them. Mm-hmm. We love them.
You can't satisfy everyone. I mean, there's just no way.
But not only that, it's
always
just
a problem.
I don't want to satisfy anybody. And I'm not doing it for anybody's pat on the back or accolades. I just want to, you go out there and you help people and you do these things. You take Mercury One. I mean, they got boots on the ground now with all these tornado locations. People are dying, know. And you go out there and you do it, and then what do people want to do? I don't like Glenn Beck. Shut up! Good God Almighty! Because you disagreed with the man's political opinion? Get a life!
Exactly.
Here's my thing. Nobody cares that you don't like Glenn Beck.
Nobody cares if you like or dislike LeBron James. I mean, the guy's done good things. Oprah Winfrey, I don't care if you agree with her politics. She's done good things for people. She's a humanitarian.
But when those charities are coming out and helping people, they're not asking those people hey, before we go through with this, what are your political beliefs?
Yeah. Are you a Republican or a Democrat?
Exactly, because this is going to change this transaction.
That's the world we live in, Candice.
Exactly.
I know. I mean, it's just dumb. Like, if you think through it, if you really think through it, it's just ludicrous the world we live in. Don't eat McDonald's, de Blasio. Good God, what are you polling at for the presidential election? You're like Swalwell. You're at 0%. No one wants you to be president. And Eric Swalwell, let's talk about this fool who tweeted me on Sunday with his smart-ass comment. Where's the thing that he came up with? I loved his interview.
He tweeted you?
Yeah.
I missed that. How did I miss that?
We went back and forth, but he wouldn't answer me. Kevin Wade, our buddy K-Dub, he even called him out. He was like, come on, dude. You are a presidential candidate who refuses to respond with the real answers. That's why nobody wants to vote for you.
From one angry white male to another.
This interview, what was he, sitting in the park? I saw this. I retweeted it at 3 o'clock this morning.
Down to earth, sitting at a park.
Yeah, he's like, where's that stupid thing? There he is. Right. He's just a certain type of white guy. So here's a dude running on intersectionality and identity politics once again, and he says I'm a white guy that doesn't see other identities. Sweet Lord, I hate human beings.
Just identified himself.
My God, you just identified your own color skin. Who cares what your color is? It's skin pigmentation. Freaking melatonin, man. I'm a white guy that doesn't identify or understand other experiences. He says, if you don't understand other experiences, you should not be president. I've said it over again. Like, he looks like a dude that should be named Todd. No offense to people named Todd, but he's like the guy that comes to the family reunion and you haven't seen him in 5 years, but he's got a new business opportunity, multi-level marketing thing. Let me show you how to get this new oil. It works, man. I'm telling you, it'll make your gout go away 100%. He says he understands. He says, I understand. I do. And he said,
I know that guy.
I know, right? There would be gaps in my knowledge or my experience. He says, I'll pass the mic to people who do have that experience. I've also pledged that I would ask a woman to serve as vice president.
How lovely.
Shut up! What is wrong with you?
He's covering all the...
He's got it.
everything.
I mean, come on, dude. Like, I don't care if you're qualified for the job. You have a vagina. You're qualified now.
Well, I mean, he's going to ask a woman. That should be enough, right?
That's all you got to do.
Any woman.
Here's a trick. Just go ahead and pass the mic, Todd, over to a woman, and just don't be president at all. If a woman is so great because she's a woman, just let her go ahead and be president. Why don't you pass the mic to Kamala Harris, Amy Klobuchar, or Elizabeth Warren? They're not polling at 0%, you tool bag. This guy's a fool. Mark.
Come on.
He's a fool. You're polling at 0%. Just pass the mic to Elizabeth Warren. At least she's polling. At least she's up there.
Maybe he's at like 0.02% or something. Maybe he does have a number.
Which is the same as 0.
But she's not totem polling.
She's not totem polling. She's 1 in 10 24th totem polling. Wow, Steve. And that right there is why that man stays around. Yes.
He's your Sherpa.
He is my Sherpa. Sherpa Steve. Where was I on Swalwell? Swalwell
We're at
Todd.
the part where you're yelling loudly.
Oh.
Yeah, we were on that for a minute.
What's that?
Oh, yeah, we were still on the...
Yeah.
I mean, he is a white guy amongst a whole running group of other white guys. But he's a different kind of white guy, I guess.
I'm a different kind of white
Can you be
guy.
a different...
So here's what he tweeted me back.
He's not as old as the others.
So the other day, he put a tweet out about wanting people to donate $5 to him because he wanted to end what Trump was doing with kids in cages and all of these kind of things. And so I commented back and I said, show me a kid in a cage. Mm-hmm. So, and also I made fun of the fact that he put the tweet out this week about these are 2 flags that I fly 365 days a year. It was the American flagpole next to his office door, and there was the gay pride flag, which, by the way, he was flying backwards because purple comes first. And in the rainbow flag, and he was flying it, and you could tell it had just come out of a package that he'd probably gotten in from China on Amazon.com. And it's like, dude, if you steam the thing, if you're flying at 365, it sure is awfully wrinkled. Mm-hmm. Stop freaking virtue signaling, bro. Stop. And so he puts this deal out there, and I made the comment about, can you not pay somebody $5 to steam that flag, iron that flag for you? You're asking for $5. Uh-huh. So they come back at me about kids in cages, and I said, show me a kid in a cage. So he posts a link of an Atlantic, or no, it was a Guardian article talking about, kids in cages and how the Trump administration is blah, blah, separating families. And I commented back and I said, look, dude, they've already proven that with the use of the Associated Press and how they kept using the term cages of how it's semantics, because just because you're using a chain link partition, that does not mean it's a cage. Right. Juvenile detention centers put people in cages. They put American kids in cages. You know why?
I put my grandson in a pack and play. It's a cage.
But I mean, you broke the law. You have to be detained somehow.
Exactly.
You come to the border. We don't know if these kids are with their parents. It's been proven that many of them are with traffickers.
Yeah.
They're being used by total strangers as a means to get by and to claim asylum. They have to be separated and vetted. How do you want to do this thing? So I said, okay. And they were like, oh, I can't believe you're going to use this, whataboutisms. Because I said, what about Obama? He's doing the same. Obama did the same thing.
Exactly.
Well, these whataboutisms. Well, then answer the freaking whataboutism. What about Obama? All the pictures come from the Obama administration. Listen, it's stupid. Hey, okay, so Swalwell, I'm asking you again. I asked you on Twitter, what's your plan for detaining illegal aliens? How are you going to do it? I mean, Syria has refugee tent cities. Is that wrong? Are those tent cages? I mean, what are you doing? What do you plan on doing? They're illegals. Does the rule of law not matter to anybody? And then, of course, all the no-face trolls that have 69 followers after being on Twitter for 9 years shut up. You ever feel like Alex Jones?
Sometimes.
I try to take my shirt off and start screaming and throwing things and breaking lights in here.
Oh, not that far, no.
No?
I mean...
it's just like, people want to get on Twitter and they troll me and they get on this kick about, oh, you're so angry about things. Yes, I am! Because you people irritate me with your ignorance.
They just don't want to see it.
Y'all should hear him at home. He's like this, but like jacked up on steroids.
Wait, the truth comes out.
It does.
There we go.
It does. I don't care. Look, I exist to make fun of stupid people. That's what I do.
That's
And
what
am I
comedy
angry?
is.
No, it's actually entertaining to me.
What a great existence, though.
Ah, it's fun.
And entertaining.
And it just comes at you in just megabytes and terabytes these days.
And just an endless amount of material.
And speaking of stupid, I got to bring up AOC again because apparently there was a tornado warning in Washington, D.C. This chick is just, did you hear her going on and on about it?
Yes, I saw a little bit, but then I read like the excerpt.
Yeah, apparently
Fully.
the tornado
It's not
moved,
good.
missed the city so quickly that they ended the watch shortly after. Apparently, this is a thing that happens in the summer here with increasing intensity. Tornadoes are challenging to link to climate change links due to their nature. Oh, my sweet Lord. But we do know that tornadoes have been changing. They're no longer limited to the Great Plains and are shifting to other regions of the country.
Because of climate change.
All because of climate change.
Yeah. We have tornadoes now in Texas because of...
I have gout because of climate change.
I heard that true.
I have erectile dysfunction because of climate change.
There
It's
it
party
is.
time, Mom! Golly.
That's what's funny. Like, we know. We know. You don't have to tell us.
That doesn't happen around the house, Brandon. Oh, climate crisis is real, y'all. Guess
We
we're
know.
in casual tornadoes in growing regions of the country. But I love what the weatherman said. He said the Congresswoman does not know the difference between weather and climate. Let's try an easy analogy. Weather is what outfit you wear heading out the door. Climate is your closet wardrobe.
There you go.
Boom.
That's fair.
Man, she doesn't know anything about anything.
But what's a casual tornado?
Well,
That's what I want to
tell you
know.
what, the folks in Oklahoma and Missouri who are dealing with these tragedies right
Yeah.
now, I promise you, it wasn't a casual tornado.
Casual.
People have been hurt. They've been killed, and it's a bad
Yeah,
deal.
that's not good.
Some of
So-
those tornadoes yesterday were up through Ohio
Yeah.
that are not normally there.
Really?
Yeah.
Look,
That's-
there's no question about it that tornadoes have moved further east. They've moved further up into the Midwest, just kind of expanded that tornado alley.
Mm-hmm.
But come on. I mean, okay, so it's a weather pattern. It's things that have happened. Is that climate change? Oh, my Lord.
Your climate change.
Oh. There's not a lot of climate happening in AOC's brain. Oh, she's fun, though.
I'm surprised they haven't come back at the weatherman for making that analogy, though.
Yeah.
That'll be fun, though.
That was a good analogy.
Yeah, it was. It made sense.
Okay, well, we're going to get out of here. I love y'all. God bless you. That's the news. There's just stuff going on in the world today. I love yelling about it. It's fun.
It is fun. It's fun.
Candice,
Yes.
always a pleasure.
It is. It's fun
Always
being in here.
fun. Go to watchchat.com. I'm going to be all over Texas. We got a show coming up June 14th in Stafford, Texas. Those tickets are on sale. June 15th, San Antonio, Texas. Tickets are on sale. The 16th, we're going to be back in Huntsville, Texas. And that's a Father's Day show on a Sunday evening. So come hang out. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to party time, Mom. And then we're going to go, we got the Diamond and Silk event in Houston on the 18th. So we're going to be all around Houston. You can get your tickets, Viewer's Voice. Is that what that's called? Viewersvoice.com. Either way, you get on my socials and you can find the Diamond and Silk event that's coming up. Come see us. We're going to be at the Marriott down in Houston. And we're also going to be in New Braunfels, Texas. I think Cooper Wade's going to be with me on that. We're going to do a little comedy, but we're going to, if you've ever been to a Cooper Wade and Chad Prather show, we have a lot of fun with that. And I think we're going to do a live CD recording of that event, and we'll put it out there for people to be able to hear it. So those are always fun. Cooper and I have been talking about for a year now doing a live recording of that show. And I think we're going to go ahead while we're in New Braunfels. So if you want to come out to the live taping, we're going to do that, record it for CD. And everybody's been asking for it. And Cooper and I haven't done a show together. And God, I guess we're going on 8 months now. So that's a fun one. Everybody needs to come down there. Y'all need to come down to the New Braunfels deal. It's the 29th of June.
It's close.
Yeah, come on down. It's going to be a blast. We're going to be at Urban Stage. I probably messed it up. New Braunfels. Great place. I love y'all. God bless you, Candice, Party Foul Steve, Barn Burning Brandon, and the Puppet Master Mark, and for the ever-absent Hot News Natalie, who we hope will get better today. I love y'all. God bless you. God bless America, and may America be blessed by God. We'll talk to you later. Love y'all. God bless you. Bye.